Today we're taking a look at the Line 6 Pod Express, and I'm going to share some reasons why I think every guitarist should own one of these things. Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and if you're new to the channel here, thanks so much for watching. Please hit subscribe below so you can stay up to date on future videos. Like the video if you're into it, and drop any questions or comments you've got below, and we can chat about Pod Express or anything else that's on your mind. But I want to jump right in and kind of start to build this case for why I think that virtually any guitarist should own one of these Pod Express units. There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of impressive aspects of this unit, but we're going to start by kind of laying the foundation and the groundwork for the argument by just addressing the price tag. It's $179 new. These units go for right around $100 if you're looking for one in the used market on Reverb.com or elsewhere. And so it's really a pretty highly affordable pedal and unit. For some people, I think that could be the start and end of the argument and the case, that it just is a pretty low barrier to entry, a low cost, especially for what you get with this Pod Express. It's packed with a nice selection, kind of a curated selection of both Line 6's amp catalog and effects catalog, which remains some of the best sounding amp sounds and effects on the market today. They've done a really nice job of kind of keeping it concise and simplified enough while still giving you a nice variety of sounds and combinations. And as I've played through this unit, I'm struck by the versatility that you get with even just the handful of amp models and the 4 categories of different effects. And so we're going to jump in and hear some more sounds from the Pod Express, this time in a higher gain setting, leaning into the lead amp sound with an SG and some effects around it here. Let's check it out. So with the backdrop of that price tag, like I mentioned, let's get into the features of the Pod Express, because I think there's really a number of different features and conveniences that make this a really killer option for a number of different folks in a number of different contexts. First of all, you've got, this fairly compact 2-button and 5-knob interface. You've got input for your guitar up top here with stereo outs left and right on the top. You've also got a foot switch input to add some functionality for navigating presets or other features. And you've got a USB jack that allows you to use this as an interface into your computer to do recording. It's also used for firmware updates and connecting to the Pod Express Edit app, which is something we're not going to really go into in this video. I think it's probably been covered in other folks' videos, but it's a very powerful, useful, and clean app that allows you to do some more tweaking and fine-tuning of presets on the Pod Express. It also opens up some more controls and tweakable features in both the amps and some of the effects to allow you to customize and really fine-tune your sound and your experience. It's really useful for creating and kind of cataloging your presets as well. So if you're using this unit to kind of access a number of different pre-made presets, it's incredibly useful in that way and really nicely designed. In addition to that, you have a headphone jack with a volume control, which can make this incredibly useful for silent at home practicing or rehearsing, or just tweaking tones and sounds. And to add to the flexibility and convenience of this unit, you can power it with 3 AA batteries like I've done throughout the last couple days here in the studio. I'm using these cool rechargeable Ernie Ball AA batteries, and according to the internet, this should last about 6 hours of use with those AA batteries, and I'm going to attest to spending probably 3 or 4 hours with this unit in the studio already and having no issues with powering via the battery. So that's another really cool convenience, especially if you're going to utilize this on the road or in travels or whatever. So let's hear some more sounds and kind of push some of those effects categories to their limits by combining them with a cleaner amp tone in an ambient setting. Let's check that out. So really the focus of this video thus far was to showcase a nice variety of really great sounds by combining those effects in different amp models. And all of this was done by just turning the knobs on the face of the pedal and kind of listening and finding the sounds that I liked right on the unit here, because I think that sort of proves out the case of its convenience, especially in a pinch or on the fly. I think the app, the editor, is a really powerful tool and definitely one that some folks will want to utilize. But I wanted to really see if this is a unit that you can just kind of plug in or put batteries into and turn the knobs relatively quickly and easily and find some great sounds. And it's really proven that out for me here. The last kind of scenario or case study I'm going to include on this video is one that really stood out to me as in thinking about the Pod Express. And that's to just utilize it as your end of chain digital amp modeler. So we're going to bypass all the effects in this and kind of throw it onto a small pedal board of pedals with the sounds and the kind of simplified setup that I would typically use. We're going to dial up a chimey amp sound and just kind of see how it sounds and feels. Well, we add in and kind of subtract some effects in the signal chain there. I think it's a really compelling case, especially at this price point, to have this kind of unit either at the ready as sort of a backup for a live gig scenario, or you can toss it in as your amp within your pedal board setup and really kind of not miss a beat. But it's also a pretty venerable option in comparison to some of the digital modelers out there today. Just on its own, with the amp models that it's included, the wide range of sounds that you get from clean to high gain and everything in between, and the feel and the sounds of the amp models are really pretty solid, especially for something of this price. So let's check out the Pod Express in the context of a pedal board, relying on it solely as our digital amp modeler, and just kind of see and hear how it sounds. So that's a quick case for why I think the Pod Express is really something every guitarist should have, especially at the price point. Something you could easily throw in your gig bag as a backup or kind of an emergency pinch if you just want to use it for that, but also something that really proves to be a compelling option for either a simplified sort of quick solution for a fly date or kind of an in a pinch situation there. Certainly it's really useful and convenient for at home playing and practicing, and even utilizing it direct in with the USB connection for recording ideas or demos. Just a lot of different contexts and use cases for this pedal, a lot of conveniences and kind of creature comforts, and then the ability to kind of get dense or deep with the Pod Express edit software is a really nice thing. So I was curious about this unit because I've played some of the other Line 6 modelers and kind of had exposure to a lot of their different products, and was surprised by a unit like this at its price point. I had relatively low expectations, but I gotta say this thing has exceeded my expectations kind of across the board in the sound quality, in just the usability and the convenience and the versatility of it. So I think it's a really killer option, something that should definitely be on your radar if any of those contexts or use cases kind of jumped out to you. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, what you thought about the sounds, how you might use something like this in your rig, or how you are currently using it or loving it. Drop those below in the comments and we'll chat down there. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.